In this video, we're going over the new top 5 best guns to use here in Modern Warfare 3 after the recent update. There is a new attachment that we're going to be utilizing on all of these class setups, and it is amazing. These weapons are underrated, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be enjoying them if you're trying to mix up the current meta. So if you guys cared up with these setups, let me know down in the comment section, and as always, feel free to drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel, those post notifications, to update with any and all best class setups as well as settings. Let's get into it. Alright, so for the first class setup, we're taking a look at the SVA 545. But before we get into that, let me know down in the comment section what is your favorite weapon to use in Modern Warfare 3 currently. So for the muzzle, we are going to be going ahead and rocking the Shadow Strike Suppressor on this AR. Just take us off the radar. That's all we need on the SVA 545 because this weapon is very low recoil, especially with the new attachment that was just added into multiplayer as well as Warzone. Now, for the barrel, we are going to be rocking the STV Precision Barrel. This is a fantastic attachment to run on the 545 in order to bump up that aim out of display controllability, bullet velocity and range, gun kick control, and recoil control. You are going to be lasering players across the map very easily with this attachment, and that's exactly what the SVA 545 is built to do. Now, for the underbarrel, we are going to be running the Bruin Heavy Support Grip to smooth out the recoil pattern. If you want a point and shoot laser beam, this is the attachment to equip on this assault rifle. Now, I know a lot of people in Warzone like to run this, but it's incredibly effective in multiplayer. This class setup I'm going to add right now is also very solid in Warzone as well, so you can use this in both modes. Now, for the optic, we are going to go ahead and run the Jack Glassless optic. If you do not have this unlocked, do it immediately. This is going to be improving your precision sight picture as well as firing aiming stability, and on top of that, it is going to be giving you less visual recoil, which is going to be making you a lot more accurate at those longer ranges, and that's exactly where people are going to be falling short. And then finally, for the last attachment, we are going to be running a stock on this class setup, and I do recommend running the Marquise R11 stock on this specific build, just so we can go ahead and bump up that movement speed, firing aiming stability, gun kick control, and sprint speed. This is going to be a good attachment, taking advantage of both close range as well as long ranges here. The SVA is going to be a weapon that's going to be dominating at any and all ranges, and that's exactly why I believe it's one of the most underrated assault rifles next to the Holger 556 and MCW. You guys can see here we have a respectable ADS, and literally there's going to be no recoil with this build. It's going to be a point and shoot laser. Definitely go ahead and give this a try if you have not already, especially with the new Jack Glassless optic. Now, for men in the build, we are going to be running it with the Core 45 with its conversion kit. This is a fantastic attachment to run on the Core 45, pretty much turning it into a submachine gun. We do have on the 40-round drum. We are going to be rocking the SL Skeletal vertical grip on this class setup. We have the Colossus Suppressor XS version, and we are going to be running the XRK Dynamic Precision stock, which is going to be available if you run the conversion kit, giving us increased gun kick as well as recoil. If you go in the firing range, you're going to see that this class is going to be disgusting because every time you pull the trigger and release it, we're going to be firing an extra shot, which is going to be making the fire rate incredibly fast, and also the TTK something to live for. It is amazing. Now, we are going to be going ahead and running munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset to hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier, as well as ghost to keep us off the radar. And if you guys are trying to go ahead and go on longer gun streaks and stay alive, run the CCT comms vest, which is going to be acting like a 24/7 UAV. Every time you kill somebody, run over their body, they're gonna be dropping you a radar beacon, letting you know where everyone is at. And because the spawns are trash, pitiful, in multiplayer, this is gonna be a lifesaver. This is overall one of the most underrated class setups in the game right now. And after the addition of the Jack Glassless optic, it is definitely top meta. Do not sleep on the SVA. You guys are gonna be going crazy with this build. Now, for class setup number 2, we're taking a look at the MTZ-556. They recently just buffed this weapon, so it's worth taking a look at. Now, for the muzzle, I do recommend you running the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor. This is going to be a great attachment on the MTZ. We're going to need that additional recoil control as well as bullet velocity and damage range, but the main priority is going to be taking this off the radar here. This is a nice attachment you can run. Like I said, if you need some additional recoil control, if you do not need it, feel free to just rock the Shadow Strike Suppressor. Now, we are going to be skipping over the barrels on this setup. We do not need any of the help from the barrels. This is overall going to slow down this weapon's handling, and that's what we do not want to have happen. This is going to be a nice AR that you can run around with and dominate at mid ranges. Now, that being said, we are going to run an underbarrel on this build, and I do recommend running the Bruin Heavy Support Grip here, so we can go ahead and smooth out that recoil pattern, bumping up that gun kick, horizontal firing aiming stability, as well as aim idle sway controllability. Overall, a great attachment on the MTZ, again, for those mid-range gunfights. Now, we are going to be running a magazine. This weapon has a crazy fast fire rate, which is a good thing. So the 50-round drum is going to help us out. We're going to be running and gunning and mowing down 3, 4, 5 people at the same time without actually having to reload. Now, because we are going to be controlling the recoil, we are going to be rocking that new Jack glassless optic again. This is incredibly effective on the MTZ because we're going to be removing that visual recoil, which does plague this weapon and make it a little bit difficult to use at longer ranges. Not anymore. And then finally, we are going to be rocking a stock on this build, and I do recommend running the MTZ Marauder stock, which is going to be bumping up additional recoil control and gun kick control. Overall, a great attachment on this assault rifle, so we can go full auto across the map a little bit easier. Once you jump into the firing range, you're going to see here that we have a build that is still going to have a respectable ADS, and like all of my setups you're going to see here, especially with this new Jack glassless optic, it is going to have very, very controllable recoil. Definitely give this a try if you're trying to mix some things up with an assault rifle that I would say was meta when the game first released, but obviously after all the weapon buffs and nerfs, this is now something you should definitely take a look at after the recent update. For the remainder of the build, we are going to go ahead and run with the same core 45 setup we have on the conversion kit. We are going to rock that 40-round drum. We have the exoskeletal vertical grip, the Colossus Suppressor XS, as well as the XRK that is in stock. And do not forget to run the munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset, ghost TV camo, as well as the comms vest again. This is overall a very effective assault rifle that, again, not that many people are using. I don't know why, but it's definitely going ahead and making a return in the Modern Warfare 3 meta. Now, for class setup number 3, we're going to run it back with the BP50. This is a fantastic assault rifle. It's brand new, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people are not running it because they don't know how to control the vertical recoil. I have a class setup for you guys. Now, for the first attachment, we are going to be rocking the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor to go ahead and bump up that recoil control, bullet velocity, damage range, and also taking us off the radar. Now, we are going to rock a barrel, and the Lore 9 heavy barrel is phenomenal on this assault rifle, allowing us to have the increased firing aiming stability, recoil control, gun kick control, and more bullet velocity and range. This is going to be a great attachment on this AR if you're looking to outgun a lot of the MCW as well as Holger 556 users. Now, for the underbarrel, we are going to be rocking that Bruin Heavy Support Grip again. This is a fantastic attachment on a lot of the weapons that you need to smooth out that recoil pattern. We're going to be bumping up gun kick, horizontal firing aiming stability, as well as aim idle sway. Now, we are going to be rocking an optic, and the Jack glassless is going to be the obvious choice, going ahead and reducing that visual recoil, so all we have to focus is vertical. This is going to be a great attachment on the BP50, and again on a lot of weapons here that need that additional support. And then finally, we are going to go ahead and rock a stock on this setup as well, and I do recommend running the Moat 40 stock here just to go ahead and bump up additional gun kick, recoil, aim walking speed, as well as aim down sight speed. Kind of a 2-for-1 here. We're taking advantage of close range as well as long range with this setup. Once you go ahead and jump in the firing range, you're going to see this is going to be a very nice class setup, because with minimal recoil control, we are going to be able to go full auto across the map without really worrying about a thing with this gun. Definitely give this a try, again, if you're trying to mix it up and use one of the new assault rifles. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys enjoy the BP50. In my personal opinion, it was a little bit easier to use in Vanguard, but that does not mean it's bad in Modern Warfare 3. In the setup, we have on the Core 45, same exact attachments. We are going to rock the munitions box. We have on the scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset, Ghost TV camo, as well as comms vest, which will be giving us a 24/7 UAV damn near. Overall, a fantastic class. Again, mix up the meta a little bit with the good old BP50. The F2000 is making a return. For class setup number 4, we're taking a look at the Striker. It's been a hot minute since I recommended a Striker, but don't let that fool you. This submachine gun is still very, very valid. Now, for the muzzle, we are going to be running just the Shadow Strike Suppressor S here. All we need to do is remove ourselves from the radar. This weapon has very little recoil, which is going to be a huge plus in my opinion. Now, for the barrel, we are going to be helping out the medium range performance. This is going to be a hybrid assault rifle submachine gun that you can kind of do it all with. We're going to be rocking that Striker Recon long barrel, bumping up that bullet velocity and range, as well as aim, idle, sway controllability. Now, we are going to be rocking an underbarrel on the setup, but it's not going to be the stereotypical underbarrel, the Bruin heavy support grip. Instead, we're going to be running the DR6 hand stop, which is going to be taking this weapon to the next level under its close range performance category. This is going to be a very good attachment here. I understand this is going to be a mid-range submachine gun, but we have to get to those mid-range engagements, so increasing that aim walking speed, aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and movement speed is not a bad idea. Now, we are going to be running an optic on this weapon, and the Jack glasses is going to be a good option. Clean optic picture, as well as removing that visual recoil. And then finally, we are going to be running a stock on this build as well, and the Lockman Recon Series stock is going to be going ahead and bumping up that gun kick, aim, idle, sway controllability, as well as more recoil control on this submachine gun. Once you jump into the firing range, you're going to see here that this class is going to be phenomenal, because we have a quick ADS. The strafe speed is going to be nice on a hybrid submachine gun, and obviously, like all my builds, the recoil is going to be incredibly controllable. This is going to be one of the only submachine guns where you don't need to run some type of extended magazine for it to actually be viable. For in the build, we have on the Core 45, same exact attachments, and we are going to be rocking the munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset, Ghost TV camo, as well as the comms vest, giving us a 24/7 UAV. Every time you run over somebody's body, you just took out. Do not sleep on the Striker. It is disgusting. Definitely a solid submachine gun, especially after the addition of the new attachment. Now, for class setup number 5, we're taking a look at the WSP9. This submachine gun received a massive buff in the latest update, allowing us to punish people at close, medium, as well as longer ranges. For the muzzle, unfortunately, we are not going to be running our standard suppressor attachment here. Instead, we are going to be running a compensated muzzle, which is going to be allowing us to go ahead and kind of have both a suppressor as well as like a muzzle brake in one. We're gonna have increased vertical recoil, horizontal recoil, firing aiming stability, as well as shortening our radar ping for a period of time, just so we can kind of get behind their spawn, live a quick and easy streak, but at the same time have the ability to take people out at those longer ranges. Now, for the barrel, we are going to be rocking the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel. This is a great attachment on this weapon, bumping up that bullet velocity as well as range here. Again, this is going to be a submachine gun that is going to be dominating, punishing people at those medium ranges. Now, we are going to be running an underbarrel, and we're not going to be running the Bruin heavy support grip here. We're actually not even going to be running the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop like I would normally run on a long range weapon. We are going to be rocking the F-Tac MSP 98 hand stop, which is going to be nice, smoothing out that recoil pattern, but also bumping up that mobility as well as aim walking speed. Now, this coupled with increased vertical and gun kick is going to be nasty, because we're going to be able to strafe and outgun people at longer ranges, incredibly easily. Now, we are going to be rocking an optic. Obviously, the Jack glasses is going to be a great choice on the WSP9, giving us that clean optic picture, allowing us to take it out very easily at longer ranges. And because this gun only has 25 rounds by default, we have to run a magazine. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to run this, and we are going to be utilizing just the 40-round mag here with this submachine gun. Once you jump in the firing range, you're going to see here that we have a class setup that is going to have a respectable ADS, and obviously it's going to be very, very controllable. Definitely go ahead and give this a try if you're looking for a submachine gun build that is going to have a very, very low recoil and also a quick TTK. You guys can see here, the longer you hold down the trigger on the WSP9, the more controllable it is, which is going to be a huge plus. For the main of the build, we do have on the Core 45, same exact attachments, and we are going to be rocking the munitions box, scavenger gloves, covert sneakers, bone conduction headset, Ghost TV camo, as well as the comms vest. Go ahead and give us that 24/7 UAV effect. This is a filthy submachine gun after the update. Do not sleep on it. The WSP9 is a massive W. You guys should definitely go ahead and check it out right now. If those 5 class setups were not meta enough for you and you want something that you can absolutely just dominate with without having to break a sweat, I got you guys 2 more setups. Now, the MCW with the Shadow Strike suppressor on the muzzle is going to be a good choice here, taking us off the radar. Very easy attachment to go ahead and get into and love on this weapon. Now, we are not going to run a barrel on this gun. These are not going to be helping us out after its nerf, but we are going to be running an underbarrel in the Bruin Heavy Support grip. Is going to be a great choice, smoothing out the recoil pattern. Now, we are still going to be going ahead and rocking the stock attachment on this weapon. I recommend running the RB RECOIL Heavy stock. This is going to be a good choice, going ahead and bumping up more gun kick, recoil control, and tack stand spread. And we actually are still going to be utilizing a rear grip on this build as well. And we're going to be doubling it up with another RB attachment, the Claw PSL, which is going to be doing the same thing, bumping up more recoil, gun kick, and this time firing aiming stability. And like always, for these setups, we are going to be running an optic, and the Jack glassless is going to be a great choice, giving us a very clean optic. Once you jump in the firing range, you're going to see here this setup is going to be disgusting. It literally has no recoil with this new attachment, and it's going to be turning the MCW back to its former glory. Now, for the last class setup I'm going to be sharing with you guys is going to be the WSP Swarm. If you're looking for a wicked fast TTK, I got you guys covered here. Now, for the muzzle, this attachment is going to be kind of tucked away, hidden, but once you actually unlock it and equip it, you're going to be like, wow, this is something that definitely should be kind of on the forefront of attachments to run. We are going to be running the L4R flash hider here to bump up that gun kick control, recoil control, and muzzle flash concealment. Muzzle flash concealment is mandatory on the submachine gun, otherwise it's not going to be easy to control. Now, we are going to be running a barrel, and the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel is great, bumping up more recoil control, gun kick control, aim idle sway controllability, and more bullet velocity and range. You're going to be outgunning assault rifle players with this attachment. Now, for the underbarrel, we actually are going to be skipping it. Now, normally I'd go ahead and recommend running either the FTAC Image Marinate hand stop or the DR6 hand stop on the setup, but instead we are going to be skipping it because we have a different attachment that's going to be kind of working the same way. Now, we are going to be running a magazine. We have to put that 100-round drum. You guys know the vibes. The more the merrier. We're going to be mowing down everybody with this weapon. Now, we are going to be running a stock on the setup. I do recommend running the FSS Fortress Heavy stock, a great attachment to bump up that gun kick, recoil control, firing aiming stability, as well as tack stand spread. And then obviously for the optic, we are going to be putting on that Jack glassless. And once you get in the firing range, you're going to have a class setup that has a quick ADS, and obviously, like all my builds, very, very controllable recoil. These are going to be some nasty class setups. The top 5 plus 2 wildcard classes you guys should be checking out immediately here in Modern Warfare 3 after the recent update. If there are 2 sets I want you to check out, definitely go ahead and give this SVA 545 a go. It is nasty. And definitely go ahead and check out the BP50. It's a new submachine gun AR hybrid. It feels like a submachine gun, honestly, but you can tear it up at longer ranges with this weapon as well. So if you guys enjoy, feel free, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.